Hello, it's Nikki. Welcome to day 13. Today I am talking about creating an experience and perhaps moving away from the hour of your time situation. So when I first started, I was very much in the mindset, I guess, or the advice was very much about 6 sessions. And it was very boundaried. It was very like you have 1 session a month and those people in between sessions go away and you never hear from them because you are completely boundaried and it's their responsibility. And all of these things to a certain extent, of course, are very valid because I need to have my own boundaries in place as a coach and understand what that means. However, as my career as a coach and my experience has changed, and I guess how that shift has moved from knowing and having paid clients and having that experience versus the training that I've had, I've really learned to listen to what my clients want or might potentially want and work with real life examples, essentially. And so I knew very early on that the 6 sessions of meeting once a month, for example, for 6 months, it was good, it worked, it was effective, quote unquote, but I knew there was more. And I knew as a person who has always worked with coaches, so I want you to think basically about how your business would work in this way. I knew that I wanted more support, and it wasn't necessarily more hours with somebody, but it was knowing that somebody was there holding my hand, knowing that this is not some kind of codependency relationship, but knowing that I could share stuff with people. I know when you embark on a journey or you're learning something new or you invest in support for the first time, sometimes it can feel scary. Sometimes it can feel a stretch out of your comfort zone. And so very quickly, what I had to listen to was what people were telling me, actively telling me, and also the things that they weren't necessarily saying. So we would have our sessions and that worked really well. But for me, I knew there were different components that I wanted to add to this. And I guess this is me going back to packages, and I want you to think about how you package your things together. So first and foremost, in terms of my business, I knew that I wanted to have pre-work with somebody. So even before they came to me, I wanted to almost know where they were at, what had been going on. I really wanted to understand lots of their business or their brand. I wanted to know what they wanted to focus on so I could do my planning and prep. I remember when I first started, it was very much like starting 1 minute, we would do our pleasantries like, hi, having a nice day, la, 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 la. 1 minute past the hour. Suddenly I'd be like, so what do you want to focus on today? And sometimes what would happen is somebody might say something completely out of the blue and I just think, oh my goodness, I haven't prepared enough for this. So I knew that pre-work was going to be so useful because it would give me that time to digest. It would give that person that time to really think about how they wanted to maximize the time together. So they could sit down and really go, how could this be effective? And I guess this would be the case if you were starting to work with a personal trainer, for example. The fact that you use your time with that person to actually do the exercise, the medical things, the setting goals, the laying out your clothes of your fancy outfit that you're going to wear, that can all be done beforehand. So I knew I wanted to add that component in. And as I've moved much more into personal branding coaching, I've really realized, especially on a long-term basis, how important that pre-work has been because it's really given us a focus to keep coming back to. Like, oh, okay, this is great. And people I've worked with for years and years, it's been wonderful to be able to refer back to and go, wow, this is where you started. Have you seen this? Do you remember when you just wrote this thing down 2 or 3 years ago? And now you're doing it and living and breathing it, and how fantastic that is. So I knew that I had the pre-work. I knew that I wanted to have that time with somebody. I also knew that there was a component to my business about resources. So there were things that I wanted to be able to walk through with my client or my customer. And I always worked on the basis that if there was something technical, if there was something that I would be able to describe to them without me necessarily being in the room, that would be really useful. Because say we had our meeting on a Wednesday afternoon, but actually, like one of my clients has, she always has her CEO day on a Friday. So if there's something going on where she goes, right, actually, this is my time when I want to put together my speaking reel or whatever that might be, they don't necessarily want to be not bothering me, but using more time or booking another coaching session. If they had a resource showing them how to do that, that's become really effective. So I knew I wanted to have that resource element to it. The final part, which has been absolutely game changing, not only in my business and I guess my enjoyment of it, and also the value that my clients have got, has been about accountability, has been about that support. That moment where they can go, oh my goodness, Nikki, I know that I have to send this email and I'm absolutely terrified because I've never quoted for this amount of money before. And, basically when they're in that moment of, oh my goodness, I'm really going to the next level here. Because this is the thing, as the internet always says or portrays, that going to the next level kind of has this like, I feel so empowered, I feel so great, I feel so in control. But I know for most of my clients and myself, because I've done this work myself, when I'm making scary moves, oh my goodness, it feels really tough. It feels really painful. It feels really stretchy and unpleasant at times. So knowing that somebody is walking that journey and seeing that progression and really knowing their business has been great for my clients. And it's really made a difference in terms of the relationship that we have. So those standalone sessions are great, and we get through lots of content and we work through stuff and we strategize. But I think also it's then, what are you going to do with that information? So I always say in my speaking gigs that if somebody just comes and feels really motivated at the end of it, I've only done half of my job. And what I want that person to do is to do something with the information, to go, right, oh my goodness, yes, I've got the bits that I was missing, and now it's time. Now it's time to make it a reality. And that's what that accountability does in terms of their support. So I want you to think about how you can serve your client or your customer to the best of your ability. So firstly, that looks like really thinking about, what do people want? What are people saying to you? What do they find most useful? Is it an hour? Is it 75 minutes? Do they like to do a session here, there, and everywhere? Is it something that they do on a regular basis where they see you every single week? And how long do you need personally to deliver a wonderful experience? So I know, for example, there are some of my clients that are so busy in terms of their packages, the things that they offer, and they can be booked up to a month, 2 months in advance. However, what they like to do is when they're focusing on their business, like I've had clients before, is they like to have a whole day with me where they go, right, this is what we're focusing on in social media. This is what we're doing here, there, and everywhere. This is what the next thing is. This is how we're going to do it. And it's really focused in that way. And when I add the wonderful experience, of course, pre-COVID, and I think I might start doing them again soon if I can, and when it's safe to do so, and if I guess the demand is there, if people are keen to do it, I really want to do face-to-face experiences where we can sit, we can have a lunch, we can be in a lovely environment and really have that focused time on somebody's business. So I want you to think about today, how are you serving people currently? And what could you do to really enhance and heighten that experience? How can you really give more? Because I tell you what, also, if you move to a packages model, you'll probably be able to charge more because it's more of your time. And sometimes in that accountability, it's me looking over sales pages, it's me giving advice, it's me watching parts of their course, it's giving feedback, and all of that takes time, but it's things that I can flexibly do in my own time around my kids. So it's not like I'm saying, right, I've got to be available every single Tuesday at 11 a.m. because my schedule just doesn't work like that. But it's lots to think about because do you know what? It's your personal brand, it's your business, and you have the full permission, authority to make it work for you. So as always, I would love to hear what you think. If you're interested in joining your personal brand plan, I would love to hear from you. You can book a call via the description box down below. And also you can join in two ways. One is a done with me. So we work together for 3 months and we have one-on-one time, accountability, all the resources, etc. And the other one is a DIY version. You do still get a very short session with me as well, but you can work through it in your own time. So even though it's a 12-week course, you get full access to all of the information and the updates for an entire year. So I hope this has been useful today. I would love to know your thoughts. As always, please tag and share on social media. I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 14. Lots of love.